My everyone, how are you all? Well, I'm sorry I haven't been posting any videos this week. Being back to work has taken up a little bit of my time, sadly, but also I've been taking part in Red January, which is realistic exercise daily, and I must say that's been a bit of a challenge this week, especially being back in work. So I haven't been in my craft room much, shock horror, but I'm back tonight actually sharing the layouts I made from my stash busting kit, which was inspired by the recipe sheet provided by For the Love of Homemade Kits. So just a reminder, I had to use find wood grain paper or nature themed, stripes, floral, coloured, mostly one tone, black and white paper, ribbon which I've used, something dimensional, project life cards, something with glitter, flare badges or epoxy flare, and sticker sheet. This was the one I didn't have. I didn't have an unfinished mixed media background, so I made a couple myself. Chunky glitter or foil flakes, an alphabet that matches one of the pattern papers. I think I had a little bit of, well, I cheated a bit on that one, I think. And an alphabet from the same collection as one of the elements in the kit. I think I cheated on that too. So this is what I've got left. I didn't have much ribbon on this reel anyway, but I have bashed some of that. And as I say, I use it on cards a lot. I don't often use it on scrapbook layouts. I haven't used many of these letters. I think I just use a U and an S. A U and an S. I don't think I use these letters at all, these glittery ones. I did bash quite a few of these. I love these ones because they're rose gold and the glitter. So I have used those for a few titles. I used all the arrows on this and some of these other pieces. So what I'll do now with these is I just punch out the rest of the chipboard and add them to an embellishment box so I can throw this piece away. I haven't got many embellishments left actually. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. This was off an embellishment cluster that I made, but I changed it for something else. So I've got those. I had quite a few of these little tags left, but I've only got one left now. So what I'll do with all these little pieces is put them in my Project Life box, because these sort of things are perfect to use on that. I've used quite a few of these stickers. I've got a few left. Oddly enough, I didn't use the llama or the cactus or the donut actually. There are a few usable ones here, but I'm loath to put it back in my main kit, so I might pop that into my Project Life thing and see if I can get some more of it done. This is the only 12 by 12 piece of paper I've got left. This one was just a bit too harsh for the ones I had in mind, so I didn't use that piece. And then I've got these pieces here. That's all I've got left. This was actually a 6 by 8 piece. So what I'll do with these pieces now is I take them into, I tend to collect a bag of scraps. If I've got bigger scraps, I keep them then all together. But ones like this, I will take into school for the cutting and sticking area. And here are layouts I've made, and I've actually made 5. So this is the one. And this was the last one I did actually. Tell you what, I'll do them in order, because then I can explain my process. This one I've actually got a process video for. This was using a sketch by the Hip Kit Club. And by starting with these papers then meant that I had little pieces left. And I know that in my video I struggled with the title, so I changed it to Love Being Us. This was cut off like a phrase sheet that I had, and you'll see how I've used the rest of that in a second. And that was some of those lovely rose gold thickers. And as you can see, I used my own mixed media there using some Distress Oxides by Tim Holtz. So that was my first page, and then I used some pieces then to make this page. This was my wood grain paper. And what I actually did then was I added some Heidi Swap Colour Shine as well. This was an embellishment cluster I had made up and had ready. As you can see, these pieces then are offcuts from some of these. There we go. So I've tried to use them as much as possible Project Life cards, some arrows, some of those little stickers, and some flare badges. Flare badges on 2 pages. Only another 500 pages to go, so I can use up my collection of flare badges. Then I did this one, which was the same sketch by Hip Kit Club. I think I need a bit more glue there. And this was my mum's little dog Izzy visiting the plot. This was from, I think, it's a Maggie Holmes collection, and I ended up with 2 lots of them because I did one in a class and then I bought a set separately. As you can see then, these are the cut leftover pieces of some of the pieces of paper I had. Another Project Life card here. And this paper was lovely. I can't remember who it was by now. And it's got like a big scrolly piece down the bottom which didn't go with the rest of my layout. Hence me then covering it up. And this was another one I made previously, an embellishment cluster, so that's another page done. Then I had a little bit of scrapper's block, I like to call it, because I was just a bit lost on what to do. I'd got to a certain stage and then thought, can't think anymore. So I went to make tea and came back then with a little bit of a renewed spirit for it. And this paper here, I can't remember, I think that might have been Maggie Holmes Flourish with the black paper, which is quite difficult to use on its own. So I cut it down and mounted it onto white. And then, as you can see, I've used more of the offcut papers. And I've really sort of clustered them all together and done quite a little bit of layering. This was off that sticker sheet. And again, this was an embellishment cluster I've made before. But I've just added some more leaves onto it. And I use a few of those little date things and some flowers. And then this was the last one I made. And this piece of paper here, as I say, because I've cut all the things off, I think this was crepe paper as well, with the like the big paint strips. Then I had this one that I mounted onto it because I was scrapbooking a photo of my mum's garden, and if you look really carefully, here's Izzy on the back of the chair because my husband and I have just arrived and she worships the ground my husband walks on. This was the embellishment cluster that had that little cat on. I changed it then because I loved Blossom to Awesome because I thought it went well with the flowers. It was actually, this part here, it actually said love makes everything grow, and it was all in one sort of section, so I separated it all up to get the most from it. And as you can see, they are the same papers that I've been using, but as you can see, I've really bashed them. And then the story was, when my dad was very ill, my dad loved his roses in the front garden, and he said before he passed away, he asked Mum and I, could we take care of them for him? And I must be honest, I'm very willing in the garden, but I'm not very knowledgeable when it comes to roses. I'm probably better growing vegetables, because he taught me well there, and my mum's a bit the same, but we sort of cut them back quite hard. But this summer we had the most stunning show of roses, so I wanted to sort of scrapbook that. So as you can see there, 5 pages. Some of those papers, I think this one here, October Afternoon, was something like 2009, 2009, I nearly said that. And as you can see, there's memories scrapped, and I've gone away from just using white backgrounds because I've got in the habit of that now, and I'm trying to use up some of my pattern papers. So there we go, a challenge accepted. So what I'll do, I'll put a link below for this challenge, but it really does give you something to work on and to shop in your stash, so to speak. So I shall see you soon with either a card video or a scrapbooking one. Take care, and I'll see you soon. Sorry, before I go, huge welcome to all my new subscribers. I'm now over 720, I think I'm at 724, which is absolutely incredible. Thank you so much. So I really am going this time. Take care. Hwyl fawr. Bye.